Imagine this, you're on a stroll on a lovely summer evening in your city center, and as you're walking, you're thinking about whether or not you've locked the door at your house when you left it. You see an extremely attractive person coming your way, like literally 10 out of 10, exactly your type. And seeing that person, you're thinking to yourself, I have to initiate a conversation. This is like once in a lifetime opportunity, there is no way I'm gonna miss this. And in those seconds when the two of you are coming closer to one another, you're already thinking to yourself, like, okay, what do I say? I should just stop them, be like, hi, and I should talk about the weather, probably. I guess that's how you make a small talk, but like, nah, everyone talks about the weather. It's such a boring subject. I don't want to be boring. This is a very important opportunity. Okay, so then I should make a compliment. I heard this compliment thing is a very good way to get to know somebody, but what if I'm gonna be too bold? What if that's too over the top, too much? And as you think about it so extensively, trying to craft the perfect line, the magical phrase, the opportunity passes, that person passes by you, and you're never gonna see them ever again. I'm sure something similar at least happened to you at least once in your life. But let's just clap our hands and switch to a parallel universe. A universe in which you are just 20% less intelligent. Everything else is exactly the same, but you are 20% less intelligent. You don't have this ability to think about such a subject so profoundly and in such depth of trying to optimize the things you're about to say. You're just a bit more stupid, and you're saying whatever comes to your mind automatically. Encountering this attractive person in this universe, you would just be like, oh wow, that's an attractive person. Hey, hi, how are you doing? You would literally wave to them, put your hand in front of them in a friendly way to stop them from walking, and just be like, hey, I'm Alex. I saw you from a distance and you are just so attractive. I had to stop you. There was no way I could miss this. Do you want to go on a date sometime, maybe? It's pretty dumb. There is no game, there is no reason, there is no magical phrase. But guess what? It works. Because you don't overthink it, because you don't try to craft it perfectly. There is no pressure, there is no tension, there is no fear of failure, even. Like, just imagine that version of you. How would that version of you handle rejection? Would their day be completely ruined? Probably not. They would just be like, oh, well, whatever, next. That's it. Whatever, next. It's not about you. Even the worst rejection possible, it's still not about you. It's about the other person. And that version of you that's less intelligent, that's more stupid, that version of you understands it. But you can't understand it, can you? You're just too intelligent and stubborn. You know what the saddest part of this is? That extremely attractive person you didn't approach back then was approached by another person that was less intelligent than you, and who knows, perhaps even worse looking than you as well. And they had success. I can guarantee you that happened. So why not you? Why do you keep rejecting yourself from the kickoff? Oh, I just can't do it because I'm not in the proper mood. I'm not like, I don't have the perfect line to say. Come on. Is it really about that? It's not about the looks, we've just established that. You see a lot of couples where one of them is very good looking, the other one is awfully looking. And it's not about the game and the reads either, because there are stupid people approaching strangers of the opposite gender all the time and having success with it. All of this overthinking gets to the point where you reject yourself. First of all, like, you don't even give the other person a chance to accept or reject you. You reject yourself from the kickoff. And guess what your energy looks like in such a situation? Now, turning your brain off and being like less intelligent in social situations is definitely easier said than done, especially when you are just used to have a tight grip on the situation, to control it through your overthinking, through optimization, through all of this like micromanagement, like psychological micromanagement that you're doing all the time. But you have to start small, because being relaxed and basically not thinking so much, that's the only way you're gonna get to the other side. And you have to understand that you are gonna be a newbie in this situation. It's just like you've been playing basketball with your feet for your entire life, and now you want to become good at basketball. You have to start learning to play basketball with your hands and to unlearn the basketball practice with your feet. You have to start small as well. That's the only way. You have to take baby steps in this journey to understand and to accept the fact that you are not so good at this skill for now, but also to have the hope and to really trust me when I'm telling you that you can get to that point as well. It's not something that's never gonna be for you. You can definitely get to the point where you're just gonna be chill and composed socially, and you'll be able to talk to these people casually. Basically, you need to start talking to strangers. It's something so natural to us humans. It's something so normal. Don't you really feel a bit anxious when you're around so many people, for example, in the city center or even walking by a certain person down the street, and you just ignore one another? It's a bit strange, isn't it? I really believe we are meant to connect more with one another and to acknowledge each other's presence more. And society just makes us into this adopting these behaviors where we just avoid one another because that's just the norm. The way for you to break this norm and to start adopting the healthier approach where you can just talk to people casually is to start small, and the way to start small is to start talking to elderly people. In my opinion, that's the single best way, because you don't have a bar of success, right? You don't need the validation of elderly people. You don't really care about stranger and elderly people. So then the bare minimum for you to start a conversation with such a person is probably going to be quite low. That's why it's the first step in this journey. And what I want you to do is to start initiating small talks in the social environments you find yourself into. Perhaps, as I said, in the city center, or in your neighborhood, even just walking down the street, going to the shops, the social environments you usually find yourself into. Just start making a bit of a small talk. Make a certain remark about something you see around you. Make a certain remark about that person. Maybe even pretend you don't know the time or something and ask them what time is it. Perhaps a conversation is gonna start from that point onwards. Perhaps you're waiting for the bus or for some public transportation, and you can just start making a bit of a small talk about that. Just get creative with it. Now, what's important to note here is that you're gonna find a lot of resistance in going ahead and approaching someone for the first time. You might literally spend like weeks just hyping yourself up, just being like, come on, go ahead, this is the person, we're gonna do it now. And then you will just start battling your demons in your mind, and something will just hold you back from doing it. It's okay, that's part of the journey. You have to go through this. You have to push and push and push and be persistent. And then after enough time, you will just go ahead and approach that person. And you will just see that after you've approached the first person, the second approach is at least 50% easier, because now you are just used to it. It's not the unknown. Previously, there is this fear of the unknown. What if I'm gonna get judged? What if they are gonna yell at me? What if everyone's gonna look at me because I approached them? What is that gonna say about me and my reputation and my ego? All of these things, they don't really matter. These things are just illusions in your mind. And the way to break them is to just take action and get new feedback from the world, we could say. You have to leverage the momentum you're building every single day as well. So when you're talking to the first person, it would be a very good idea to talk to another person as well. Make it two, make it three, make it four, because momentum helps you be more social. For example, if you start a day just being in solitary confinement, working on something just on your own for the first like 5 hours of the day, it's gonna be a bit more difficult to go ahead and interact with people later on in the day. But for example, if you were to start your day around people, perhaps you're at a cabin with some old friends or you attended some social environment in your city, if you do that in the first 1 or 2 hours of the day, then you're just gonna see that it's gonna be so much easier for you to start talking to people later on in the day because you have the momentum. It's very, very important, and I want you to remember this forever. You can leverage it in any other domain as well. Like if you want yourself to be more physically active, perhaps take a walk early on in the morning or work from a standing position rather than a seated position. You can leverage this in every single domain, and it's a cheat code. It makes everything easier from that point onwards. Now, after you become quite comfortable with talking to elderly people, it's time for you to iterate and to change the category and to start talking to people that are your age but the same gender as you. Because again, there is not such a huge need to impress, there is not a bar of success. The people of the opposite sex that you deem as being attractive are probably quite like pedestalized by you. You put them on a pedestal all the time, you feel the need to impress them. That's why we have to iterate like this. And after you get comfortable with talking to these people, then it's time to move to the final category, which is the people of the same gender as you. After doing this for long enough, you're just gonna see that it's gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's really, really easy to talk to people once you have the practice in and once you convince yourself that there is nothing dangerous about it. And by the way to talk to the attractive people of the opposite gender is just the way you talk to the people of the same gender as you and the way you talk to elderly people as well. It's the exact same energy. You don't need game, you don't need reads, you don't need to look in a certain way or even to flirt in the first interaction. You just need to be chill and relaxed. That's literally all there is to it. Because that's the highest possible version of you that you could give them, that you could show to them. Now imagine a day where you're encountering that attractive person in the afternoon after you've just spent your entire day around people. Where you've just approached like 5 people throughout the day, perhaps at the gym, perhaps at work or something. How would your energy look like? Would you still overthink so much? Would you still have all of this pressure on you? It's gonna be like 10 times easier to initiate a conversation. And this is something you should keep for the rest of your life. I really believe this is a healthy way for us to live. I mean, you're probably not living among criminals or something so dangerous. So why wouldn't you start talking to people more, just chit-chatting, making small talks here and there? Just being more social like this, it makes you feel like you're part of society. It perhaps even gets you new connections. It got me new connections from doing this. For most of my life, I've just been like shut down. I've just been so like distant from people, and I had all of these limiting beliefs holding me back because, talking to strangers is pretty cringe and weird. And what are they gonna think about me? People are gonna stare at us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it got me a few nice connections. It will get you nice connections for sure. And it will get you to the point where you enjoy your social life a lot more. So there is no reason for you not to go ahead and try it. And if you want the step-by-step practice that helped me get from a point of social anxiety to a point of social confidence, I have a link in the description where I made a course designed to help you get through the same journey yourself. It contains absolutely everything you need, stuff that I can't really break down in a 10-15 minute video here. It's like 4 hours of content, and it's absolutely perfect if you're struggling with this, if your social life is not at the level you want it to be. So go ahead and check it out if you're interested.